What would you give up to give your kids a shot at the stars? Jack Harper stood in his Chicago workshop, the air heavy with sawdust and regret. As he hung a for sale sign on the door, his calloused hands trembled, the weight of 25 years pressing down. On the bench, a half-carved wooden plane for his twin daughters caught the fading light. High above, a jet roared, its rumble shaking the windows like a promise kept. Jack had sold everything for Lily and Mia, betting his life on their dreams. Now, they were back not just to visit, but with a secret that would rewrite his story. This is how a father's vow became a legacy that stunned a nation. Jack's world shattered the day his wife, Emily, died giving birth to their twin daughters on Chicago's South Side. The hospital room was quiet, monitors slowing to a mournful hum. Jack paced the corridor, hands tracing imaginary toy planes for the son they'd planned to name Daniel. The doctor's voice cut through, "Your wife didn't make it, but your daughters are alive." Two nurses placed tiny, identical girls in his arms, Lily and Mia, fragile as hope. Tears fell as he kissed their foreheads. "He'll take care of you," he whispered, his voice cracking. "I promise." Grief clawed at him, but love burned brighter. Emily was gone, his mother buried months earlier. No family left, just Jack, a carpenter with rough hands and a stubborn heart, facing a world that felt endless. Emily, you'd want them to soar, he thought, her memory a compass in the dark. Back home, bills cluttered the kitchen table like broken promises. The twins wailed, hungry, and Jack's fridge stood empty. Mrs. Rosa, a retired nurse next door, knocked with formula bottles and a no-nonsense smile. "These girls are ours now, Jack," she said, her hands full of supplies from neighbors. Her kindness was a lifeline, a spark of humanity in the cold. Jack rocked Lily and Mia, humming Emily's favorite hymn, "Amazing Grace," their breaths warming his chest. He stitched diapers from old sheets, boiled water in dented pots, and built a mobile from scrap wood stars and planes spinning above their crib. Neighbors peeked over fences, whispering that a carpenter couldn't raise infants alone. Jack ignored them, his mind sharp, calculating every move. "He'll take care of you," he told the girls, the vow his anchor in sleepless nights. Weeks stretched into months. Jack had juggled feedings with furniture orders, carving headboards while rocking a cradle with his foot. Exhaustion gnawed. But Mrs. Rosa rallied neighbors. 4 women brought soup, washed clothes, and taught him to soothe colic cries. "You're a better mom than most," Mrs. Rosa teased, her eyes warm. Jack kept meticulous notes on feeding times, his practical mind determined to raise strong girls. Lily and Mia grew into chubby toddlers, their laughter echoing in the workshop. Lily stacked puzzle blocks, her first word block. Mia tinkered with broken toys, giggling "Papa" as sawdust dusted her curls. Jack's pride swelled, but so did his dream education. A path beyond the South Side's grit. "They'll have what I didn't," he thought, his heart strategic yet tender. One summer, when the twins were 3, Jack took them to a neighborhood festival, the air thick with barbecue smoke and blues music. Lily and Mia danced in the street, their sneakers kicking up dust, neighbors clapping. Jack watched, his chest tight with joy and fear. "Am I enough?" he asked Emily's memory, her photo glowing in his mind. Gossip grew sharper. "A man needs a wife," elders at the corner bodega said. "Girls need a mother." Jack smiled politely, his heart closed, but the words stung. At night, he spoke to Emily's picture, her eyes steady under candlelight. "They deserve more than my carved toys," he confessed, his mind wrestling doubt. The question lingered, unanswered, drifting like the scent of cedar through the open window. When the twins were 5, school fees loomed. A Mountain Jack shop, Harper's Woodworks, couldn't climb one. The neon sign flickered above the door, a South Side landmark, but profits barely covered rent. Jack considered remarrying, not for love, but for partnership, his mind weighing stability against risk. Then he met Sarah, a soft-spoken waitress at a diner on 63rd Street. She admired his oak tables, doted on the twins, and promised, "I'll treat them like my own." Her gentle smile chipped away at his hesitation. They married under a maple tree in a community park. the twins twirling in yellow dresses, giggling about Mama Sarah. For 6 months, the house smelled of fresh cornbread, bedtime stories woven in two voices. Jack dared to believe in a second chance, his heart easing. But one humid evening, he returned from the shop to chaos. Sarah stood over the twins, her voice sharp. "You're always in the way, spilling juice, breaking things." Mia clutched a snap toy plane, tears in her eyes. Lily shielded her sister, defiant. Jack's mind raced. How had he missed her bitterness? I thought she'd see them like I do, he thought, anger flaring. He stepped between them, voice low but firm. "You don't get to dim their light. We're done." Sarah's face twisted. Good luck raising those brats alone. She packed and left before dawn, the gate slamming behind her. Jack rocked the twins as they whimpered in their sleep, shame burning, rage hotter. At sunrise, he knelt by their beds. "Never again will I risk you," he vowed. "You're my everything." The girls, still shaken, created a fist bump, packed 3 taps and a grin. Their unbreakable bond. "We're a team, Papa," Lily said. Mia nodding, Jack's heart steadied, his resolve ironclad. School resumed, Sarah's memory fading like chalk in rain. Jack cooked uneven pancakes, braided hair with crooked parts, and forgot picture day forms, but the twins laughed through it, their joy a balm. He worked late, sanding planks under a bare bulb, each bookshelf funding spelling bees and field trips. Neighbors shook their heads at the corner store. "Who sells his heart for daughters? Sons carry your name." Jack answered with more shelves. More laughter from the workshop, his mind sharp, every dollar a step toward their future. The twins learned their first lesson. Family is who chooses you every day. No matter the kishtan, high school brought heavier burdens, fees for textbooks, uniforms, and science labs piled up, and lumber prices spiked. Jack skippled dinners, took night commissions, carving desks under flickering light, his hands steady despite exhaustion. Every piece is a brick in their path, he thought, his mind a calculator of sacrifice. One rainy afternoon, a developer admired a restored oak table in the shop. "Your talent's wasted here. Jack, open a showroom downtown." Jack shook his head, his voice quiet. "My dreams wear school uniforms, not suits." Then disaster struck. City inspectors arrived, citing new safety permits that would cost more than a year's profit. A closure notice landed on his desk, its words like a blade. That night, Jack spread it on the dinner table, his face in his calloused hands. Lily and Mia, now third, watched, their eyes waiting but steady. Mia reached across, her voice soft. "Papa, we'll be okay." The twins scavenged scrap wood, building birdhouses painted with Chicago's skyline, Willis Tower, Lake Michigan's waves, the L trains snaking through. They sold them at Maxwell Street Market, blues guitar riffs floating from nearby stalls, the scent of tacos and grilled corn in the air. Their hustle earned enough to dent tuition, but not enough. Jack faced a brutal choice: sell Harper's Woodworks, his life's work. It felt like severing a limb, but their future demanded it. This isn't the end, just a detour, he thought, his mind strategizing like a chess master. He visited the city clerk, heart pounding, and returned with a for sale sign. Gossip exploded at the bodega and barbershop. "Foolish man. Girls will marry and leave. Invest in sons." The twins heard every sneer but stayed silent, adding extra paint to their birdhouses, turning pain into art. 3 months later, a buyer offered enough to cover high school fees and a modest cushion. Jack signed the papers, his hands shaking, tears falling as he locked the door one last time. The twins pressed their palms to the dusty walls, whispering, "Thank you for feeding us." They walked away, Jack carrying his toolbox, Lily and Maya holding his arms. Behind them, the shop's neon sign creaked in the wind, a farewell only they understood. They relocated to a cramped apartment near a community college in Chicago's Loop. The hum of CTA buses outside their window. Jack hunted for work, but carpentry jobs were scarce in the city's bustle. A library janitor posting caught his eye. Dawn shifts, modest pay. He applied, showing his scarred palms to Mrs. Carter. The head librarian, anyone who respects wood will respect books, she said with a nod. Job's yours. Each morning, Jack swept marble corridors, polished reading tables, and oiled creaky hinges, the scent of paper and ink, a new kind of forest. He pocketed torn pages to mend at home, muttering, "No story deserves the trash." The twins joined after school, finishing homework between shelves while he mopped, their laughter a quiet rebellion against the city's grind. Ms. Carter slipped extra textbooks into their backpacks, her quiet gift. Family evenings brimmed with warmth over a single bowl of mac and cheese, riddles, and study sessions under a flickering bulb. Lily traced flight paths on faded world maps salvaged from library archives, her eyes dreaming of cockpits. Mia dissected broken radios, claiming, "It'll make them sing again." Jack watched, marveling at their hunger for knowledge. They're outgrowing this place, he thought, pride and worry intertwining. The city bore sharp tongues. Market women scoffed when Jack haggled over bruised tomatoes. "Where's your wife?" they demanded. CTA drivers joked he should loan out the twins for cash. Each insult chipped at him, but he stored the pieces, building resolve. One weekend, the school announced an aviation fair, the fee unattainable. Jack considered pawnshops, his stomach nodding, but Ms. Carter intervened, sponsoring the twins quietly. At the fair, Lily sat in a flight simulator, her pulse syncing with the virtual sky, her mind racing with possibilities. Mia sketched drone designs, equations scribbling across her notebook. They returned home breathless, declaring careers in aviation. Lily as a pilot, Mia as an engineer. Jack nodded, his heart swelling but heavy. "Then we'll target the sky," he said aloud, thinking, but the ground's cracking beneath us. College tuition nearly broke them. Jack patched school shoes with leftover leather, mended uniforms until seams groaned, and took extra cleaning shifts, scrubbing graffiti from stairwells at midnight. The twins volunteered at church bake sales, saving coins in a biscuit tin labeled Sky Fund. Admission letters arrived Lily, aviation at Midwest Flight Academy, Mia, mechanical engineering at Tech Core University. Partial scholarships eased the burden, but the gap loomed large. One dawn, Jack stood outside their rented apartment, staring at his toolbox, the last relic of his craft, at the pawn shop. The clerk examined each chisel, offering a humiliating price. Jack accepted, tears masked by sawdust on his cheeks. That evening, he laid the cash before the twins, his voice steady. "College will happen." They wept, not from joy, but from the weight of his sacrifice, their arms around him in a silent promise. Community mockery escalated. Former neighbors sent letters. "A man without assets is no man." Jack burned them in the sink, his jaw tight. He cleaned office buildings on weekends, the twins wiping windows for pocket money. Strangers assumed they were his employees. He introduced them proudly as future pilots and engineers. Some laughed, others slipped them bus fare. By September, they scraped together first semester fees. On move-in day, Jack borrowed a wheelbarrow to transport 2 suitcases and a stack of second-hand textbooks across campus lawns. Students in flashy cars stared. The twins waved, unfazed. Before leaving, Jack knelt, praying aloud, "Swap my strength for their success." The dormitory elevator doors closed, taking his daughters upward while he remained on the ground. Walking home, Chicago's skyline blurred through tears, and for the first time since Emily's death, Jack allowed himself to imagine a future where grief was a footnote, not the headline. University life was dazzling and brutal. Lily battled advanced physics, her mind wrestling formulas like puzzles. Mia slogged through calculus and machine design, her fingers stained with graphite from sketches. They rode packed CTA buses at dawn, balancing notes on their laps, and cleaned cafeteria tables at night, pouring leftover soup into thermoses for Jack. At 48, Jack felt his muscles protest each mop stroke, but he refused rest. Timing breaks to call the twins with motivational quotes scribbled on napkins. "Pressure turns rough stones into smooth ones," he'd say, his voice a steady anchor. They repeated it before exams, their resolve mirroring his. One night, Mia's laptop crashed, deleting a crucial design project. She borrowed lab computers at odd hours until security complained, her mind racing to recover her work. Lily stayed awake, solving practice problems by flashlight so Mia could use their shared desk. Their sisterhood, a quiet fortress. During a campus symposium, Lily impressed a visiting pilot, Captain Torres, with her questions about cockpit ergonomics. "You've got a flyer's mind," he said, offering mentorship in simulator access. Mia won a design contest by proposing a lightweight drone winglet for small aircraft. Her sketches precise and innovative. The prize money covered next month's rent. And they phoned Jack, voices trembling with relief. He danced alone in the library corridor, Broom as his partner, tears streaking his smile. "They're building wings," he thought, his heart soaring, but hardship persisted. Jack slipped on wet marble, pain shooting through his chest. Doctors confirmed mild hypertension, prescribing medication and rest he couldn't afford, bedridden for a week. He worried about rent, his mind spinning worst-case scenarios. The twins pulled cafeteria tips and walked dogs for professors, sending funds home. "Don't worry, Papa," Lily said over the phone, her voice firm. Jack hated their burden, but admired their grit. By semester's end, both girls ranked top 5 in their cohorts, campus whispers shifting from disdain to admiration. Second year brought an eviction notice. Rent had jumped beyond Jack's cleaner salary. He stored belongings in a church basement and slept on a library storeroom mat, lying to the twins about upgrading the apartment. They sensed the truth but respected his pride, their silence a shared pact. One evening, exhaustion caused Jack to nod off, a floor buffer humming. Miss Carter found him, her face stern. "Jack, your health's failing, facing termination." He confessed everything eviction, his heart, his fear of failing the twins. Instead of firing him, she organized a fundraiser, citing his years of quiet service. Professors donated, alumni mailed checks, and within weeks, funds covered his medical bills and secured a bedsitter near campus. Jack protested, his pride stinging. But Ms. Carter insisted, "You mended our books. Let us mend your life." Gratitude overwhelmed him, his journal filling with thanks for spilled juice that led to neighbors, for lost tools that birthed hope. The twins pressed on. Lily applied for a competitive internship with Skyline Airlines, her application sharp against peers with industry ties. On selection day, she spotted her name first place and collapsed into Maya's arms, crying, "Papa's mop bought me wings." Mia secured a summer placement at Aerotech Manufacturing, designing a modular drone frame, sturdy yet lightweight, impressing supervisors. They extended her internship with a modest stipend, and she sent half to Jack, who used it to buy health insurance for the first time. "They're paying me back in ways I never asked," Jack thought, his heart full. Third year blurred into final dissertations, simulator hours, and design sprints. The twins shared a mantra, one more step, calling Jack for Psalm 23 when anxiety struck. He leaned on library colleagues who monitored his diet and forced him to rest. Their care, a new kind of family. A month before exams, Jack's chest tightened again while polishing oak banisters. The pain sharper. Doctors adjusted his medication, adding expenses. Lily offered to drop a class, Mia to sell her phone. Jack forbade it, his voice firm. "You finish what we started." They compromised, sending weekly meal prep containers. Their love practical and fierce. On campus, Lily aced her instrument flight check ride, logging flawless takeoffs and landings, her confidence soaring. Mia unveiled her capstone project, a modular drone frame for small aircraft, adaptable for cargo or surveillance, earning highest honors from judges. Word spread. The cleaners twins who soared, media requested interviews, but they declined, citing exams. The legend grew, whispers following them across campus. Unknown to Jack, the twins had been crafting something bigger. Years earlier, Mia filmed him mopping in the library, saying, "Dad, you're a story worth telling." Lily's high school essay about the shop sale had won a citywide contest, hinting at their storytelling gift. They'd compiled footage over time, Jack's late-night sanding, their birdhouse hustle at Maxwell Street, study nights under the library's fluorescent glow. With scholarship prize money, they pitched a documentary, A Father's Blueprint, to PBS Chicago. In a small conference room, Lily stood tall, her voice steady as she described their journey, her charisma holding the room, Mia flippant through sketches, her precise diagrams mapping their sacrifices. The producer, eyes wet, leaned forward. This is the American dream heart. Grit, a shot at something bigger. The documentary aired during finals week, going viral across social media. Donations flooded in, clearing the twins' tuition, funding Jack's medical bills, and seeding Emily's wings. A scholarship for girls in STEM. Jack watched the broadcast on a library TV, stunned as strangers called him a hero. They turned our pain into light, he thought, tears falling. The library staff planned a surprise. Jack's contract was ending due to budget cuts, but Miss Carter had circulated his resume to furniture boutiques. Artisan Works offered a role teaching carpentry at a trade school, tripling his janitor salary. They valued his story as much as his skill, seeing his hands as proof of resilience. When he phoned the twins, they screamed so loudly a dormitory alarm went off. Lily chanted, "Papa's back in business." Mia calculated they'd clear his overdue bills in 2 pay cycles, her mind always ticking. Graduation day dawned bright, the stadium lights glinting off rows of caps. Jack arrived early, his old Sunday suit ironed to near perfection, a second-hand camera slung around his neck after learning photography on YouTube. When Lily crossed the stage, he yelled, "That's my pilot," prompting laughter from the stands. Mia followed, tassel swinging, blowing a kiss. Tears blurred his lens. But strangers snapped pictures for him, their kindness a quiet gift. After the ceremony, Lily led Jack to Skyline Airlines training jet, parked for demonstrations. She invited him into the cockpit, her hands steady on the controls. He traced switches like sacred relics, whispering, "I used to build toy planes from scrap." She smiled, her voice soft. "You built this future, Dad." Mia joined them, holding a gift of miniature drone shed designed, engraved with Harper's legacy. Jack cradled it as if it breathed, his heart full. A local reporter cornered them, asking what kept Jack going. A promise to their mother, he said simply, his words raw. The clip went viral, inspiring parents nationwide, shared across X and news feeds. That evening, they skipped fancy banquets, eating fried chicken and cornbread at a roadside stand on Lakeshore Drive. The city's skyline twinkling. They planned next steps, Lily's simulator sessions, Mia's engineering residency, Jack's first trade school class, under streetlights. Jack looked up, planes blinking across the sky, their red beacons tracing arcs of destiny. For the first time in decades, he exhaled fully, the vow not just kept, but soaring. 6 months later, Lily flew regional jets for Skyline, collecting postcards from cities she had once traced on faded maps. Each landing, she whispered, "Papa, we made it." Her heart tethered to him. Mia's drone frame secured a patent, its design adopted by Aerotech for small aircraft. They offered her a leadership role. She countered with a request for a green energy research grant, her mind always pushing forward. They agreed, impressed by her vision. The twins pooled their earnings and drove Jack to a quiet Chicago suburb, past bungalows and oak trees. He assumed they were quoting a furniture job, his mind still practical. Instead, they stopped before a cream-colored house, its porch glowing under soft lights. "Welcome home, Papa," Mia said, pointing to a gold plaque Harper house. Inside, framed photos lined the walls. Emily's smile, the twins at every age, Jack's old shop license. Shock silenced him, tears dripping onto the polished floor. "I can't accept this luxury," he rasped. Lily stepped forward, her voice firm. "You slept on a storeroom floor so we could have textbooks. Accept this roof because we can." He surrendered, embracing them until laughter replaced sobs. They organized a community fair at the college library, inviting librarians, neighbors, Mrs. Rosa, and even skeptics who'd once mocked Jack's choices. Jack's trade school students displayed handcrafted tables, their pride mirroring his. Lily gave flight demonstrations in a simulator, her charisma drawing cheers from kids. Mia unveiled a drone prototype, explaining its lightweight frame to awestruck teens. The event launched Emily's Wings, a Chicago-based program offering aviation camps and engineering workshops for low-income youth. Jack handed a young boy a model plane, his voice steady. "Build your own sky, kid." The crowd cheered, blues music drifting from a nearby speaker, the air thick with grilled corn and hope. Some skeptics apologized, their voices low. Others stood silent, humbled by proof of a father's faith. Jack raised a glass of lemonade, toasting Emily and every unseen ally along their road. "Love builds what nothing else can," he said, his words carrying across the crowd. Years rolled into a symphony of quiet triumphs. Lily achieved captain status, commanding international flights, her voice calm over the intercom as she crossed oceans. Mia led a team developing lightweight aircraft fuselages, reducing fuel consumption by 15%, her designs a testament to her relentless ingenuity. Their joint foundation, Emily's Wings, sponsored dozens of girls in STEM programs across Illinois, its impact rippling outward. One anniversary of Emily's death, the family gathered at her grave in a South Side cemetery. Jack, now gray-haired but upright, placed cedar shavings shaped like wings on the headstone, his hands still steady. Lily and Mia read letters to the mother they never met, describing first flights, patented designs, and the bungalow's mango gardenia nod to Emily's favorite fruit. The wind rustled leaves like applause, a gentle affirmation. Later, they visited a South Side youth center, expanded with their donations, where kids crafted paper planes and learned coding under solar-powered lights. A girl named Amina tugged Jack's sleeve, her eyes bright. "I'll be an engineer like Mia and fly like Lily." Jack knelt, despite creaking knees, tears welling. "Aim higher than the clouds, kid," he said, his voice thick. A photographer captured the moment, the image later headlining local papers under Faith in Flight. That evening, they watched the sunset from the bungalow's porch. Lake Michigan's waves a distant murmur. Jack mused, his voice soft. "Life carved me into a better man than I planned." Mia leaned on his shoulder, her voice steady. "It carved us into women who carry your mark wherever we go." Lily nodded, her eyes on the horizon. Stars emerged, the same ones Jack once studied through a leaking roof. A jet glimmered above. Perhaps Lily's, perhaps not. Its contrail traced a shimmering signature across the sky. Proof that vows kept with love can defy gravity forever. This story hit me hard. Jack's belief that love never loses value is a blueprint for us all. In a world chasing quick wins, he bet everything on Lily and Mia and won something bigger than wealth, a legacy. What's the one thing you'd sacrifice for someone you love? Drop it in the comments, and let's inspire each other. If you believe in legacies that soar, join us for more stories like this.